Hello everyone, today in this video we will fight against the atmosphere collector of our world around us, and this time we will go back to the more traditional form of this channel and we will talk about one book I have read recently. So, a few days ago I finished reading first comprehensive, let's say, quite short but very informative and comprehensive biography of first Caliph of Cordoba, Abd al-Rahman, written by Spanish scholar, historian, medievalist and Islamic scholar Mrs. Maribel Fierro. And I have to tell you that this biography of the guy who dared to proclaim himself first Caliph of Cordoba, and the same he transformed Cordoban Emirate to Cordoban Caliphate, is written in a nice way. Each sentence brings information to the reader. First, let's say part, it's a chronological presentation of his reign, long because it lasted 49 years and Abd al-Rahman lived in total 70 years. He succeeded Emirate of Cordoba first in a quite bad conditions because politically it was attacked by the Christian neighbors from the from the north. It was in a sort of conflict with its southern Muslim neighbors, and one needs to be honest. One needs to be honest. Internally, it was also torn apart by many rebellions of local lords whose loyalty to Cordoban rulers was gently and frankly speaking very questionable. And Mr. Abd al-Rahman managed to settle it down after, at the time of his death, Al-Andalus was at its height, political, economical, and maybe not yet cultural, but it was almost the highest cultural point this region of the Muslim world also achieved. And maybe this country didn't extend in a territorial manner during the reign of Abd al-Rahman III, but the important issue is that it was consolidated and its reputation and power were really restored. So not always the state needs to acquire new territories to have its power restored or even very much increased. This is the case. And it's very succinct work in which we also can learn a lot about Al-Andalusian society, why Maliki version of Islam was selected by Abd al-Rahman, and who were the main rivals. The main rivals were, of course, Christian states from the north, the kingdoms created on the residual territories of Visigothic kingdom, which was conquered by Muslims in the years 711 AD to 718 AD. This was the main phase of the Islamic conquest of Iberian Peninsula. Later in 722 AD, there is the Battle of Cavadonga Gorge, where Pelagius, actually in Spanish tradition, Pelayo, inclined first defeat to the Muslim conquerors. Small battle but very symbolic. Some people date from this battle beginning of Reconquista, so recovering the lands conquered by Muslims by the Christian Catholic warriors from the north, former Visigothic descendants of the remains of the Visigothic state. And we see that Abd al-Rahman managed with every difficulties. Of course, he had also his I would say, deviations. As a man of absolute power, he was able to be very generous to his people, he was able to be very cruel to his people. He even killed one of his sons because he was suspecting conspiracy from his side with some Islamic judges from different school than Maliki. So I really like it because in this book we have nicely and in a very short way, without any superfluous without any superfluous paragraphs and empty elaboration. We have nicely presented the internal situation in Andalus, internal situation at the court especially, and internal situation in the religious life of this very interesting form of the state. So the book entitled Abd al-Rahman III by Spanish scholar Maribel Fierro, which was originally published in 2005 in English, can be really recommended to everybody who wants to really learn about the Umayyad Caliphate and its highest point, especially the most beautiful and highest point. This is a very good position to read. All the best, have a nice day, bye.